Hey Emily, I heard you've started a new fitness regime. How's that going?
It's going well, David. I've had to cut out sugar and processed foods. It's tough, but I'm sticking to it.
That's impressive. I don't know if I could do without my weekend pizza.
It's all about balance. By the way, did you finish that painting you were working on?
Not yet. I've been working on it every evening, but it's taking longer than I thought.
Art takes time. Don't rush it. So, are we still on for the movie night this Friday?
Absolutely. I was thinking we could eat in and watch something classic. What do you think?
I love that idea. Eating in is much more relaxing. I can make one of my new healthy recipes.
Sounds great. I'll bring the movie. Something light-hearted, perhaps?
Yes, please. Nothing too heavy. Oh, and how did it go with your sister? Did you drop in to see her new place?
I did drop in last weekend. Her new apartment is fantastic. She's done a great job with the space.
That's wonderful. I'd love to see it sometime.
I'm sure she'd be happy to have us drop in together. She's always asking about you.
Let's plan that. Did she get through the moving process okay?
Mostly, yes. There were a few hiccups, but nothing major.
Moving is never easy. Speaking of homes, have you decided whether to renovate your kitchen?
I have, and I'm going to go ahead with it. It's a big investment, but I think it's worth it.
Definitely. A good kitchen is a game changer, especially if you're eating in more often.
Exactly my thought. How about your car? Did you manage to get it fixed?
Yes, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but I've realized I could do without it more often. I've been walking and cycling a lot.
That's a healthy choice. Plus, it's better for the environment.
True. And speaking of health, how's your mom doing? I remember she was going through a tough time.
She's better, thanks for asking. She's started gardening, which seems to be a great stress reliever for her.
That's good to hear. Gardens can be so therapeutic.
They really can. Do you still plan on attending that cooking class next week?
Yes, I'm excited about it. It's all about plant-based meals, which will help since I've cut out meat recently.
That'll be interesting. Maybe you can show me some recipes. I could do with some healthier meals.
Of course, I'd love to. Maybe I can cook for us before the movie night?
That'd be fantastic. I'll bring the wine. Or would you prefer something non-alcoholic?
Some herbal tea would be great. Trying to cut out alcohol, too.
You're really dedicated to this new lifestyle. It's impressive.
It's not easy, but I feel so much better. I don't even miss the things I've cut out.
It's amazing how our bodies adapt. By the way, are you still planning on going to Spain next month?
Yes, the trip is all set. I'm looking forward to it. A week in the sun will be nice.
That sounds amazing. You deserve a break.
Thanks, David. It'll be a good chance to relax and take off some time from work.
Definitely. Remember to send me some photos.
Will do. And when I get back, we should plan out a day to drop in on your sister.
Sounds like a plan. Safe travels, Emily.
Thanks, David. Oh, and before I forget, do you want to drop in at the farmer's market this Saturday? We can pick up some fresh ingredients for our movie night.
That's a great idea. I'll meet you there.
Perfect. See you then, David.
Hey Ava, you seem cheerful today. What's the good news?
Hey, Ryan! You won't believe what happened. Remember the guy I told you about? The one I thought I was falling for?
Yeah, the one from your art class. What about him?
He finally asked me out. I can't believe I actually fell for someone so quickly, but he's amazing.
That's fantastic, Ava. I'm happy for you. It's great when feelings are mutual.
Thanks, Ryan. But enough about me. How have you been? Did you ever get over that situation with your neighbor?
Sort of. I'm still working on it. She's been a bit difficult lately, keeping on with the loud music at night.
That sounds frustrating. Have you tried talking to her again?
I have, but it doesn't seem to help. She just keeps on doing it. Maybe she'll eventually stop.
Hopefully. Changing the subject, did you hear about the new cafe opening downtown?
No, I haven't. What's special about it?
They're doing these live music nights. I thought we could check it out. Maybe it can help take your mind off the neighbor issue.
Sounds like a plan. It's always good to find new places to hang out.
Definitely. Oh, and speaking of new places, have you been to the renovated museum yet?
Not yet. I've been meaning to go. Have you?
I went last weekend. The new exhibits are impressive. You should check them out.
I will. Museums always help me relax. It's a nice escape.
They are. So, back to your neighbor, have you thought about talking to the building manager?
I might have to. I just need to get over my reluctance to cause a fuss.
Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, especially if it's affecting your peace.
That's true. I'll talk to the manager this week.
Good for you. Oh, did I tell you about the weird encounter I had at the gym?
No, what happened?
This guy started hitting on me out of nowhere. It was so awkward.
Really? Some guys just don't know how to behave. How did you handle it?
I just kept on with my workout and ignored him. He eventually got the hint.
Good move. I'll never understand why some people think the gym is a place to hit on others.
Me neither. Anyway, how's work going? Are you still keeping on with those late-night shifts?
Yeah, for now. They're tough, but I'm managing. I just keep on telling myself it's temporary.
That's a good attitude. Hopefully, you'll get a better schedule soon.
I hope so. Enough about work, though. Are you excited about your date?
I am. I can't believe I fell for someone so quickly. It's been a while since I felt this way.
It's always exciting when you fall for someone new. Just enjoy the moment.
I plan to. Oh, and are you still planning to take up that photography class?
Yes, I am. I'm looking forward to it. Photography has always been a hobby I wanted to explore more.
That's great. It's important to have hobbies to keep on with, especially with your busy work life.
Absolutely. It's good to have something else to focus on.
Definitely. Speaking of which, I need to pick up some art supplies for my class. Want to come along?
Sure, I could use a break. Maybe I'll find something for my photography there too.
Perfect. It's a date then. And Ryan, about your neighbor, just remember that standing up for yourself is important. You'll get over the awkwardness once it's done.
Thanks, Ava. I appreciate the support. Let's go get those supplies.
Hey, Jack. Fancy seeing you here.
Emma? What a surprise. I was just living on coffee and pastries here. Join me?
Thanks. I can never pass up a good cup of coffee. How's everything?
Can't complain. I've been putting on a brave face with all the work stress lately. You?
Same here. Just got over a hectic week. I could use a break.
Speaking of breaks, I almost passed up an opportunity to go hiking last weekend. Glad I didn't, though. The views were breathtaking.
Oh, I saw your photos. I can't believe you almost passed that up. I live on those little weekend adventures.
I know, right? What about you? Any adventures lately?
Well, I put on a little backyard concert last week. Just me, my guitar, and some close friends.
That's awesome. You always had a knack for music. Don't tell me you passed up the chance to play your new song?
Not at all. I played it. It was a hit.
I wish I hadn't missed it. I had to run over to my cousin's wedding that day. It was out of town.
Weddings are important too. But hey, I can always put on another mini concert for you.
I'll hold you to that. So, any exciting plans coming up?
Actually, yes. I'm planning to live on a boat for a week. Always wanted to try a boating holiday.
That sounds amazing. I wouldn't pass up an opportunity like that for anything.
You should come. It'll be an adventure. We can fish, swim, and just relax on the water.
Tempting. But I can't pass up this big project at work. Maybe next time?
Fair enough. I'll bring you some stories and hopefully not a sunburn.
Please do. And hey, before you live on a boat, let's catch up properly. Dinner next week?
Sounds like a plan. But don't pass up dessert this time.
Wouldn't dream of it. It's a deal then. Dinner and dessert, no passing up.
Great. I should run over to my meeting now, but I'm looking forward to dinner.
Me too. Take care, Emma, and don't forget to put on sunscreen on your boating trip.
Will do. Bye, Jack. Morning, Jordan. How's the project going?
Hi, Alex. It's moving, but we've been set back by some unexpected issues with the software.
Oh no, that sounds stressful. Is there anything I can do to help?
I appreciate it, but we're managing. Just had to take in some extra help from the IT department.
That's good to hear. It's amazing how quickly things can turn around with a bit of teamwork.
Absolutely. And how about your presentation? I heard you were presenting to the board today.
Yes, I was pretty nervous, but it went surprisingly well. I managed to turn around their initial skepticism.
That's great. I knew you'd impress them.
Thanks. But honestly, I thought I'd wind up making a fool of myself. Public speaking isn't my strongest suit.
You always sell yourself short. I'm sure you did brilliantly. By the way, are we still on for lunch today?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to trying that new Thai place. I've heard it's a great spot to take in some authentic cuisine.
Yeah, and it'll be nice to wind up away from the office for a bit. A change of scenery is always good.
Couldn't agree more. Let's hope we don't get set back by a long wait. I hear it's popular.
We'll beat the lunch rush if we head out now. Ready to go?
Definitely. Let's turn this day around with some good food and a break from work.
Hey, Riley, you seem troubled. What's going on?
Oh, Sam, it's been a tough week. My old laptop finally gave out. I guess it was time to ask for a new one.
That's rough. But hey, a new laptop sounds exciting.
True, but my budget is a bit beat up after all the unexpected expenses last month.
I get that. Hey, why don't you call up that tech store downtown? They sometimes have great deals on electronics.
That's a good idea. I'll do that. Maybe I can find something affordable.
Definitely worth a try. Oh, did you hear about the Cozy Corner Cafe?
No, what about it?
They're going to close down next month. The owner is retiring.
Really? That's sad to hear. I've always loved their ambience and coffee.
Yeah, it's a big loss for our neighborhood, but I heard they might ask for community input on what should replace it.
That's an interesting approach. I hope something good takes its place.
Me too. Anyway, if you need any help deciding on the laptop, just call me up. I've been keeping up with the latest tech trends.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. It's tough when you have to close down an old chapter and start a new one, even if it's just a laptop.
It's all part of moving forward. Maybe this new laptop will open up more possibilities for you.
I hope so. I'll call up the store this afternoon and see what they have. Hey, Leo, how did your job interview go yesterday?
Hey, Mia, it was interesting. The opportunity actually came about through a casual conversation with a former colleague.
That's often how the best opportunities come about. So, are you excited about it?
I am, but it's a big change. I'd have to cut through a lot of red tape to transition into this new field.
Change can be good, though. It might be worth the effort to cut through the challenges.
True. How's your art project coming along?
Good, thanks. I'm almost done. Just need to do up the final touches on the painting.
I can't wait to see it. You always do up your work so beautifully.
Thanks, Leo. Oh, did you hear about Tara? she decided to drop out of her course.
Really? She was so enthusiastic about it. What made her drop out?
She felt it wasn't the right fit for her, wants to explore different paths.
That makes sense. It's important to find what truly motivates you, even if it means having to drop out and start over.
Exactly. Life's too short to stick with something that doesn't make you happy.
Speaking of happy, let's do up some plans for the weekend. Maybe a hike or a visit to the art museum.
I'd love that. A hike would cut through the monotony of my usual weekend routine.
Great. Let's plan it out. Maybe we can come about some new ideas for your art while we're at it.
This project is really starting to eat away at me. I didn't think it would be this challenging.
I know what you mean. These deadlines can really eat away at your peace of mind. What's the main issue?
Well, the funding we were expecting might fall through. If that happens, I don't know how we'll manage.
That's tough. It's always hard when plans fall through. But let's not lose hope yet. Sometimes things work out unexpectedly.
I hope you're right. By the way, did you hear about the layoffs in the design department?
Yeah, I did. It's unfortunate when the company has to lay off people. Everyone's a bit on edge now.
I can't imagine how hard it must be to get up and go to work, not knowing if your job is secure.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of strength to get up every day and face such uncertainty.
Speaking of which, we should probably get back up to our office. Can't afford to be seen lounging around too long these days.
Right. Before we go, just remember to lay off the stress a bit. You're doing great and worrying too much won't help.
Thanks, Tom. I'll try to lay off the worry. Let's hope for the best with the project.
That's the spirit. And if the funding does fall through, we'll figure something out. We always do.
Hey, Ben, you look a bit frustrated. What's going on?
Oh, it's my car. It's starting to act up again. I think there might be something wrong with the engine.
That's annoying. Have you had it checked out?
Yeah, but the mechanic's quotes just don't add up. I feel like they're overcharging me.
Maybe you should ask around for a reliable mechanic. I know a few people who might have some recommendations.
That's a good idea. I'll ask around at work tomorrow. How's your new yoga class going?
Well, it's good, but there's this one guy in the class who's always trying to correct my poses, even though he's not the instructor.
That sounds pretty annoying. Have you talked to him about it?
I've tried hinting, but he doesn't seem to get it. I might have to be more direct and tell him to back off.
Sometimes being direct is the best way. It's important to stand up for yourself.
You're right. I'll talk to him next class. Changing subjects, did you ever add up the cost for our camping trip next month?
I did, and everything seems within our budget. But I'll double-check the numbers to make sure nothing acts up with our planning.
Great. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be nice to back off from work and enjoy nature.
Absolutely. A break is exactly what we need. And don't worry, I'll make sure the car won't act up on our trip.
David, have you heard about the drama at Lisa's birthday party?
No, I haven't. Did something happen?
It was about to blow up. Her brother and his girlfriend had a huge argument right in the middle of it.
Wow, that must have been intense. Did they manage to bail out of the situation?
Yeah, Lisa had to step in and bail out her brother. She calmed them down before things got out of hand.
Good for her. Changing the topic, did you talk to your landlord about the heating issue?
I tried to bring it up, but every time I do, he changes the subject.
That's frustrating. You really need to bring up the issue firmly. It's getting colder.
I know, I will. Oh, by the way, how did your road trip go?
It started great, but then my car broke down halfway. We were stranded for hours.
That's terrible. What did you do?
Luckily, we were able to bail out the situation. A local mechanic passed by and helped us out.
That's lucky indeed. I'm glad it didn't completely blow up your trip.
Me too. But next time, I need to make sure my car is in better shape to avoid breaking down.
Definitely a good idea. It's never fun to have plans break down like that.
Agreed. Anyway, I'm glad we could catch up. It's been too long since we brought up all these stories. Hey, Sophie, I heard the weekend hiking trip got called off.
Yeah, the weather turned bad. We had to call it off for safety reasons.
That's a bummer. You were really looking forward to it.
I was, but there's no point in getting upset over it. I just took a deep breath and calmed down. We can always plan it again.
That's a good attitude to have. Speaking of plans, how's your new job going?
It's going well. The first week was hectic, but I'm starting to catch up with all the work.
I'm glad to hear you're catching up. Just don't overdo it.
I won't. By the way, how's your photography class? Are you still enjoying it?
Absolutely, I'm carrying on with it. It's challenging, but really rewarding.
That's great to hear. It's important to carry on with what you love.
Definitely. And speaking of photography, I was hoping to catch up with you and show you some of my recent shots. Maybe give me some feedback.
I'd love that. Let's catch up over coffee this weekend. I can't wait to see your work.
It's a plan. And hey, next time your hiking trip gets called off, maybe you can calm down by joining one of my photo walks.
That sounds like a perfect plan B. I'll definitely take you up on that offer.
Hey Angela, just wanted to check in with you about the team meeting next week. Are you prepared?
Hi, Mike. Yes, I've got everything under control. Thanks for checking in. How's your day going?
It's been all right. I heard you were feeling a bit down yesterday. Hope you're feeling cheered up today.
Yeah, I'm better now. A good night's sleep really cheered me up. What about you? Any plans for the weekend?
Actually, I'm organizing a beach cleanup with some friends. We're trying to clean up the shoreline. It's gotten pretty cluttered lately.
That's a great initiative. I'd love to chip in. How can I join?
That would be fantastic. We're meeting at the beach entrance at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Just bring yourself. We have extra gloves and bags.
Count me in. It feels good to chip in and do something positive for the environment.
Definitely. It's amazing how a little effort can clean up a place so nicely. Plus, it's always more fun with more hands on deck.
Agreed. Oh, and regarding the team meeting, I've prepared a brief on our project's progress. Thought it might cheer up the team to see how far we've come.
That's a brilliant idea. A bit of positive news can really cheer everyone up. Great thinking, Angela.
Thanks, Mike. I believe it's important to keep the morale high, and I'm looking forward to the beach cleanup on Saturday. Max, you'll never believe what I came across in the antique shop yesterday.
Oh, what did you come across?
An old vinyl record of the Beatles, in perfect condition. It was like finding hidden treasure.
That's an amazing find. Speaking of the Beatles, are you still planning your trip to Liverpool?
Yes, I'm hoping to come back with some unique memorabilia. I've always wanted to visit their hometown.
It sounds like a fantastic trip. I can't wait for you to come back and share your experiences.
Definitely. But I had to cut back on some expenses to save up for it.
Smart move. I've been trying to cut back on eating out too much. It's not easy, but my wallet is thankful.
It's all about priorities, isn't it? By the way, how did your sister's outdoor wedding go last weekend?
It was a beautiful ceremony, but the heat was intense. We all needed to cool off after standing in the sun for so long.
I can imagine. It's important to find ways to cool off in this summer heat.
Absolutely. They had these little handheld fans for guests, which helped.
That's a thoughtful touch. So, are you ready to come back to our jogging routine tomorrow morning?
Yes, I'm ready to get back into it. Taking a break was nice, but it's time to come back to some healthy habits.
Great! And maybe after our run, we can cool off with a smoothie at that new cafe downtown.
Sounds like a plan. It'll be a nice treat, especially since we've both been trying to cut back on indulgences.
Eric, how do you manage to stay so calm when dealing with difficult clients?
It's all about patience, Sarah. Dealing with challenging situations is part of the job after all.
I need to learn from you. By the way, are you still planning to drop off those documents at the client's office today?
Yes, I'll drop them off right after lunch. It's on my way.
That's convenient. Hey, speaking of lunch, do you want to eat out today? There's a new sushi place that opened nearby.
Sounds great. I love sushi, and it's nice to eat out and get away from the office for a bit.
Agreed. Changing the topic, did you hear about Linda from accounting? She ended up taking that job offer in Paris.
Really? I knew she was considering it, but I didn't know she'd actually end up going. That's a big move.
It is. She's always wanted to work abroad, though. Sometimes you just have to follow your dreams.
Absolutely. It's inspiring to see someone end up where they've always wanted to be.
Definitely. I sometimes wonder where I'll end up in a few years, hopefully doing something I love.
With your skills, I'm sure you'll end up somewhere great. Oh, it's almost time to drop off those documents. Shall we head out for lunch?
Yes, let's go. A good meal will help us deal with the rest of the day's challenges.
Hey, Taylor, you seem a bit down. What's going on?
Oh, Jordan, my plans for the weekend just completely fell apart. The concert I was looking forward to got canceled.
That's a bummer. It's tough when things fall apart like that. Anything I can do to help?
Thanks, but I'm trying to figure out an alternative plan. Maybe a quiet weekend at home.
Figuring out a backup plan is always good. By the way, did you manage to fill in for Laura at the office while she was on vacation?
Yes, I did. There was a lot to fill in, but I managed. It was actually quite a learning experience.
I'm sure it was. You always handle new challenges well. Speaking of work, did you find out about the promotion you applied for?
Not yet. I'm supposed to find out by the end of next week. Fingers crossed.
I'm rooting for you. It would be great if you got it, especially after how things fell apart with your weekend plans.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. Enough about me, though. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been trying to figure out some new recipes. Cooking has become my new hobby.
That sounds fun. Maybe you can fill me in on some of your favorite recipes. I'd love to try them.
Absolutely. I'll find out which ones are the easiest for beginners and send them your way.
That would be amazing. Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, Alex, it's been a while. How have you been?
Hi, Chris. I've been good, just busy with work. How about you? How's the new job?
It's going great. The team is fantastic, and I get along with everyone really well.
That's awesome to hear. It's so important to get along with your coworkers.
Absolutely. Are you still planning that hiking trip to get away for a bit?
Yes, I'm heading out next weekend. I really need to get away from the city and unwind.
That sounds like a much-needed break. Remember to get back to me with some pictures.
Will do. Speaking of breaks, did you get back from your business trip to New York?
Yes, I just got back last night. It was a whirlwind of meetings and networking.
Sounds hectic. Did you manage to get in some sightseeing at least?
Not really, there wasn't much time to get in any tourist activities. It was all business.
Maybe next time then. By the way, I was trying to get in touch with you last week about the alumni reunion. Did you get my message?
Oh, I must have missed it. I've been meaning to get back to you. I'm definitely interested in the reunion.
Great. I'll get back to you with the details then.
Sounds good. And let me know if you need any tips for your hiking trip.
Will do, thanks. It's always good catching up with you. Hey Ryan, how are you holding up since the breakup?
Hey, Emma. It's been tough, but I'm slowly starting to get over it. Each day gets a little easier.
I'm glad to hear you're getting over it. Time really does help. By the way, did you ever give back Jessica's books?
Yes, I gave them back last week. It was a bit awkward, but it needed to be done.
That's good. Closure is important. Oh, have you decided about the job offer in Boston?
I'm still thinking about it. Part of me wants to give in to the adventure, but it's a big move.
Sometimes giving in to new opportunities can be the best decision. Don't be afraid to take a leap.
True. Speaking of decisions, did you give up on your pottery classes?
Actually, no. I was close to giving up because I wasn't making much progress, but I decided to stick with it.
That's great. It's important not to give up on something you enjoy, even if it's challenging.
Exactly. It's all about persistence. And speaking of not giving up, you shouldn't give up on finding happiness, whether in Boston or here.
Thanks, Emma. I appreciate the encouragement. I guess it's all about not giving in to fear, right?
Absolutely. And remember, I'm here for you, whether you give back books, give up pottery, or get over heartaches.
Thanks, sis. That means a lot.
Hey Marco, are we still on for the movie tonight?
Yeah, go ahead and book the tickets. I can't wait to see it.
Great. I'll go ahead and get them now. Do you want to grab dinner before the movie?
Sure, that sounds good. What do you feel like eating?
How about Italian? There's that new place that just opened up.
Italian sounds perfect. Let's go on there around 6.
Sounds like a plan. So, how have things been going on at work?
Busy as usual. But you know, same old, same old. How about you? How's the photography class going on?
It's great, I'm learning a lot. Photography is something I've wanted to pursue since I grew up.
Yeah, I remember you always had a camera with you growing up. It's cool you're finally doing this.
Thanks, Marco. It's never too late to chase a childhood passion, right?
Absolutely. Speaking of childhood, do you remember how we used to hang out at the old playground near your house?
Of course I do. We spent so many afternoons there just hanging out and having fun.
Those were the days. Maybe we should go on a nostalgia trip and visit it again sometime.
That would be a lot of fun. Let's plan for it. But for now, I'm looking forward to hanging out tonight.
Me too. See you later then.
Dylan, you won't believe what happened at the library today.
What happened?
So, I was in the middle of a phone call when the librarian asked me to hang up because it was too loud.
Oh man, that's embarrassing. Did you hang up right away?
Yeah, I had to. I stepped outside to finish the call. Anyway, are we still going to that concert tonight?
Actually, about that, hold on. Let me check my messages. I think the lead singer might be sick.
Oh no, really? Hold on, does that mean the concert might be canceled?
Not sure yet. I'm holding on for a confirmation. Changing topics. How's your painting hobby going?
It's good. I keep on trying new techniques. It's really therapeutic.
That's great. You should keep on doing what you love. It's important.
Absolutely. Oh, did you hear about Jake? He got kicked out of his apartment.
What? Why did he get kicked out?
His landlord found out he had a pet, which was against his lease terms.
That's rough. Finding a new place on short notice is tough.
Yeah, he's staying with a friend for now. Speaking of tough situations, did you ever resolve that issue with your coworker?
Sort of. I decided to just keep on being professional and avoid any drama.
Good approach. Sometimes it's best to just keep on going and not get too involved.
Exactly. Let's hope tonight's concert doesn't get kicked out of the schedule. I'll let you know as soon as I find out.
Thanks, Dylan. I guess we'll just hold on and see what happens. Hey Max, did you watch the boxing match last night? That final round was intense.
I did. I couldn't believe it when Martinez was knocked out. It was a total surprise.
Yeah, that punch was a real knockout. Changing topics? How are you handling the new project manager role?
It's been challenging. The team's morale is low since the company had to lay off some employees last week.
I heard about that. It's tough when the company has to lay off people. It affects everyone.
Definitely. I just hope I don't let down the team. I want to support them as best I can.
You're doing a great job. Don't worry about letting anyone down. By the way, how's your mom doing?
She's getting better, thanks for asking. My sister has been looking after her since her surgery.
That's good to hear. It's important to have someone to look after family when they're not well.
Absolutely. It's been a huge relief knowing she's in good hands. And how about you? How are the wedding plans coming along?
Well, it's a bit overwhelming. There's so much to do, and I'm afraid of letting down my fiancé with all the choices.
Just take it one step at a time. Remember, it's your day, so don't worry about letting anyone down. It will be perfect.
Thanks, Max. I appreciate that. And hey, if you need any help or someone to talk to about the layoffs, I'm here.
Thanks, Jenna. I might just take you up on that. It's good to have someone to talk to when you're knocked out by work stress.
Noah, did you ever look into that photography course you mentioned last time?
Yeah, I looked into it, and it looks fantastic. I'm thinking of signing up for it next month.
That's great. Photography has always been your passion. It's good you're making time for it.
Absolutely. By the way, how are things with you and Emily? I heard you two had a disagreement.
We did, but we made up. It was just a misunderstanding about our vacation plans.
Glad to hear you made up. It's normal for couples to have little disagreements now and then.
True. Speaking of changes, didn't you say you were planning to move out of your apartment?
Yes, I'm moving out next week. The place just isn't right for me anymore. Too small and noisy.
I remember you mentioning that. Do you have a new place lined up?
I do. I'm moving into a quieter neighborhood. It's closer to the park, so it'll be great for morning runs.
That sounds perfect for you. Moving into a new place can be such an exciting fresh start.
Definitely. It's a bit stressful with all the packing and organizing, but it'll be worth it.
If you need any help with the move, or just someone to look into moving companies, let me know.
Thanks, Clara. I might take you up on that offer. It's a lot to handle, especially when you're moving out for the first time in years.
Anytime. It's what friends are for. And I can't wait to see your new place once you've moved in. Ethan, do you remember when you borrowed my camera last month? When can you pay me back for the repair costs?
I haven't forgotten, Grace. I'll pay you back next payday. Sorry for the delay.
It's okay. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, did you hear about the marathon last weekend?
No. What happened?
A few runners passed out from the heat. It was really intense.
That's serious. I hope they're okay. It's important to stay hydrated and not pass out in such conditions.
Yeah, they received medical attention right away. On a different note, are you still going to pick up Mom from the airport tomorrow?
Yes, I'll pick her up around 3 p.m. Her flight should pull in just before then.
Great. Make sure you're there on time. Her flights usually pull in a bit early.
I will. And speaking of picking up, have you picked up any new hobbies lately?
Actually, I've started gardening. It's quite relaxing, and I get to pick up some new skills.
That's awesome. Gardening seems like a peaceful way to spend time.
It is. And thanks again for agreeing to pick up Mom. I know she's excited to see you.
Of course, I'm looking forward to it, and I'll make sure to pay back the camera repair costs soon.
Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate it.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for coming over. Sorry about the mess. I just haven't had the chance to put away my laundry yet.
No worries, Jamie. My place isn't much better. I always put off cleaning until the last minute.
Speaking of putting off, have you decided when you're going to start your new job?
I've put it off until next month. I needed a break after everything that's been going on.
That makes sense. You deserve a break. Oh, are you going to put on that new play you were talking about?
Yes, I'm planning to put it on in the fall. There's a lot of preparation involved, but I'm excited about it.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to see it. Remember how we used to put on little shows for our families when we were kids?
How could I forget? Those were the days. We had no fear of running away from a challenge.
True. Speaking of running away, did you hear about Sarah's cat? It ran away last week, but luckily they found it.
I didn't hear about that. I'm glad they found her cat. Running away can be quite an ordeal for pets and their owners.
Definitely. Anyway, I should probably put away these clothes. Do you want to help me, or would you prefer to put off any semblance of work today?
I'll help you put them away. It'll give us more time to catch up.
Thanks, Alex. It's always good to have you around. Maya, guess who I ran into at the coffee shop today?
I have no idea. Who?
Our old roommate, Derek. I hadn't seen him since graduation.
Wow, that's such a coincidence. How is he doing?
He's doing great. He just got back from traveling in South America.
That sounds amazing. We should all catch up sometime.
Definitely. On a different note, did you remember to buy the snacks for our movie night?
Oh no, I completely ran out of time. The day just got away from me.
No worries. I can pick up some on my way over. Anything specific you want?
Just the usual. Oh, and can you grab some popcorn? Can't watch movies without popcorn.
Got it. Popcorn it is. How's the new projector setup going?
It's all set up and ready to show off its high-definition glory. You won't believe how clear the picture is.
I can't wait to see it. You always had a knack for showing off the best gadgets.
Well, you know me. I love my tech toys. This projector is definitely going to show off the movies in the best way.
Sounds like we're all set up for a great night. I'll make sure not to run out of snacks this time.
Perfect. And maybe we can plan a proper reunion with Derek soon.
I'll run it by him. He'd love to catch up with us too.
Jake, did you hear that the main server shut down unexpectedly? It's causing a lot of delays.
Yeah, I just got the memo. I tried to sign into my account this morning and nothing was working. Do you know when it'll be back up?
The IT department is working on it, but they haven't given us a specific time yet. Meanwhile, we can't sign in to access our files.
That's going to shut down our productivity today. Anyway, have you had a chance to sit down with the team to discuss the new project proposal?
I was planning to, but we had to postpone it because of the server issue. I wanted everyone to sit down together and go through the details.
Makes sense. We'll need to reschedule once everything's back to normal. By the way, I really appreciated how you stood up for the team's ideas in yesterday's meeting.
Thanks, Jake. It's important to stand up for what we believe in, especially when it comes to creative projects. We all have great ideas worth hearing.
Absolutely. Let's hope the server issue gets resolved soon. It's hard to stay productive when our tools are shut down.
Agreed. Once we're able to sign in again, let's sit down and prioritize our tasks. We might need to stand up late to catch up, but we'll manage.
Definitely. A little overtime won't hurt. Thanks for keeping everything in perspective, Nina. Riley, I've been thinking a lot about my job lately. I feel like I need to start over somewhere new.
Really? That's a big decision. But sometimes, to start over is the best way to find what you're truly passionate about.
Exactly. I just don't want to stay out of work for too long while I'm figuring things out.
You won't. You have great skills. Just stick to what you believe in, and you'll find something soon.
Thanks, I hope so. Speaking of plans, are we still going hiking this weekend?
Yes, let's stick to our plan. It'll be good to get out and clear our heads. Plus, the weather is supposed to take off and be beautiful.
Perfect. I could use a break. And I heard that trail we chose is about to really take off in popularity. We should enjoy it before it gets too crowded.
Definitely. Oh, and let's try to stay out as long as we can to make the most of it. Maybe even catch the sunset.
I love that idea. It's been a while since I just stayed out and enjoyed nature.
It's settled then. And Sam, about your job, whatever you decide, I know you'll take off in whatever you do next. You always land on your feet.
That means a lot, Riley. Thanks for the support. I'm ready to start over and see where it leads.
Henry, you've got to try on this jacket. It would look great on you.
I don't know, Eliza. It doesn't really seem like my style.
Come on, just try it on for me. You might be surprised.
Fine, I'll try it on. Wow, you were right. It actually looks pretty good.
See? I told you. You should definitely get it.
I'll think it over. It's a bit pricey.
Understandable, but it's a good investment. Plus, it's perfect for the party next week.
True. I'll think it over and decide before we leave.
All right. Oh, look at these old concert tees. I can't believe someone would throw away something so vintage.
Yeah, it's surprising what people throw away these days. There's a lot of history in these teas.
Exactly. Hey, remember the hiking trip you mentioned last time? I've been thinking it over, and I'm in.
Really? I thought you weren't interested. What talked you into it?
Your stories about the last trip mostly talked me into it. Sounds like an adventure I don't want to miss.
That's great. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad I could talk you into it.
Me too. Now, let's not throw away any more time here. If you're going to buy the jacket, we should head out soon.
Agreed. I'll make a quick decision. Thanks for helping me try on new things, Eliza. We need to remember to turn off the lights in the living room when we're not using it. Our electric bill was through the roof last month.
You're right. I've been trying to be more mindful about that. Speaking of being mindful, could you please turn on the dishwasher when you go to bed? I loaded it up, but forgot to start it.
Sure thing. By the way, I was planning to make spaghetti for dinner, but it looks like we used up all the pasta sauce last time.
Oh no, I didn't realize we were out. I guess I used up more than I thought. Should I pick up some sauce on my way back from the gym?
That would be great. Since you're offering, could you also turn down the music a bit when you're working out at home? It's super loud in my room.
Of course, I didn't realize it was disturbing you. I'll make sure to turn it down.
Thanks. And don't forget to turn off the stove after you heat the sauce. We don't want to start a fire.
Got it. Safety first. I'll be careful to turn it off. And hey, for movie night, can we turn on that new horror film everyone's been talking about?
Sure, we can turn it on, just as long as we turn off all the lights to make it extra spooky.
Deal. It's going to be a fun night. Thanks for being such an easygoing roommate.
Likewise, living together is easy when we both do our part.
Liam, you always seem so energetic. What's your secret?
Honestly, Sophia, it's all about the routine. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, even on weekends.
5 a.m.? That's when I usually wake up from my first dream. How do you manage to wake up so early?
It was tough at first, but now my body's used to it. The key is consistency. Plus, it gives me time to work out before heading to work.
Speaking of working out, I started jogging recently, but had to walk away from it. Just couldn't stick with it.
Why did you walk away? Jogging is a great way to stay fit.
I know, but my knee started acting up. I think I need to find a workout that's a better fit for me.
That makes sense. It's important to listen to your body. Maybe try out swimming. It's easier on the joints.
That's a good idea. I'll give it a shot. By the way, I heard you're planning a trip to Europe next month. How's the planning going?
It's going well. I've been writing down all the places I want to visit. It helps me organize my itinerary.
That's smart. I should write down things more often. I tend to forget if I don't.
Definitely. Writing down your goals, plans, or even what you need to buy at the grocery store can be really helpful.
Agreed. I'm going to start doing that, especially for my workouts. Maybe that will help me stay on track.
Absolutely, it could make a big difference. And if you ever want to work out together or need tips on waking up early, just let me know.
Thanks, Liam. I just might take you up on that. And who knows? Maybe I won't be so quick to walk away from my next fitness endeavor. Tom, during the last meeting, I noticed you seemed to zone out a bit when we were discussing the budget. Everything okay?
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Ava. My mind just tends to zone out when we get into the nitty-gritty of numbers. I'll make sure to stay more focused next time.
It's all right. Just make sure to watch out for that in the future. We need everyone fully engaged, especially when we're wrapping up the project.
Understood. Speaking of wrapping up, how much longer do you think we have before the project is completely finished?
If everything goes according to plan, we should wrap it up by the end of next month, just in time for the quarterly review.
That's great to hear. I can't wait to see the final outcome after all the hard work we've put in. Though, I must admit it's starting to wear me out.
I know what you mean. It's been a marathon, not a sprint. Just remember to take breaks so you don't completely wear yourself out. Burnout won't help us cross the finish line.
You're right. It's just hard to step back when there's so much to do. By the way, watch out for that email from the design team. They had some feedback that might require a few adjustments to our plan.
I saw that. Thanks for the heads up. We'll need to address it in the next meeting. It's important to watch out for those updates, as they can significantly impact our timeline.
Definitely. I'll make sure to keep an eye on those emails more diligently and maybe find a way to not zone out during our budget discussions.
Maybe take detailed notes? Sometimes, actively writing down information can help keep you engaged.
That's a good suggestion. I'll try that next time. Thanks, Ava, for being understanding. I'll make sure to wrap up my part of the project without further delays.
No problem, Tom. We're a team after all. Let's just keep pushing forward and make sure we're taking care of ourselves in the process. Morgan, could you please wash up the dishes from last night? The sink is overflowing.
Oh, yeah, sure thing. I'll wash up before I head out. Sorry about that.
No worries. Also, it's a bit chilly in here, don't you think? I'm going to warm up the living room.
Good idea, it's freezing. A nice warm-up would make this place more comfortable.
Definitely. Hey, were you planning to wait up for me last night? I saw the lights were on when I got back.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure you got home safe, but I ended up falling asleep on the couch.
That's sweet. Thanks for trying to wait up. Oh, did you hear about the community vote on the new park?
I did. I heard it got voted down. There was quite a bit of opposition, apparently.
Yeah, it's disappointing. The park would have been a great addition to our neighborhood. I can't believe it was voted down.
I know, right? It seems like a missed opportunity for everyone. Maybe they'll reconsider it in the future.
Hopefully. Well, I'm going to warm up some breakfast. Would you like anything?
That sounds great, thanks. I'll finish washing up these dishes then.
Perfect. Let's make sure to warm up the car too before we leave. It's supposed to be even colder today.
Will do. Thanks for the reminder. And Leslie, maybe we can gather more support and try to vote down any opposition if the park proposal comes up again.
Great idea, Morgan. Let's do that. It's worth another shot for sure. Oliver, I think it's time we venture out and explore that new hiking trail by the lake. What do you say?
That sounds like a great idea, Mia. I've been wanting to venture out more now that the weather's nicer. Plus, it'll be a good break from the usual routine.
Exactly my thought. And I was thinking, maybe we could vamp up our gear a bit? Get some new hiking boots or backpacks?
I like that. A little vamping up could make the trip more exciting. Plus, my old gear could use an upgrade.
After we venture out on Saturday, how about we wind down at that new cafe downtown? I've heard they have the best smoothie bowls.
Oh, that's perfect. A good wind-down spot is exactly what we'll need after a day of hiking.
Yeah. Speaking of winding down, how have you been holding up lately? I know you've been going through a lot with work and everything.
Thanks for asking, Mia. It's been a rough patch, but I'm getting through it. Taking it one day at a time. This weekend plan of ours is actually something I'm really looking forward to.
I'm glad to hear that. Sometimes, stepping away and going through new experiences is the best way to deal with stress.
Definitely. And I'm lucky to have a friend like you to venture out with. It makes going through life's ups and downs a bit easier.
Always, Oliver. Can't wait for our adventure. Let's make a list of what we need to vamp up and start planning properly.
Agreed. It's going to be a weekend to remember. Hey Casey, have you decided on what you're wearing to the wedding next weekend?
Yeah, I picked out a suit, but it needs to be tucked in at the waist a bit. It's a bit loose.
That makes sense. You want to tuck in your shirt properly too for a polished look. I need to trim down my suit pants. They're a bit long.
Good idea. I also noticed my dress shoes are a bit scuffed. They could use a quick touch-up.
I can help you with that. A little touch-up polish and they'll look as good as new. Also, I've been trying to trim down a bit at the gym, hoping to look my best for the wedding photos.
You've been doing great. I've noticed the effort you're putting in. As for me, I still need to tie up some loose ends with the hotel booking for the wedding night.
Oh, right. We should definitely tie up those details soon. Last-minute bookings can be a nightmare.
Absolutely. I'll give them a call this afternoon and make sure everything's tied up.
Great. After we tuck in, trim down, and touch up everything, we're going to look sharp. This wedding's going to be a lot of fun.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about the details, right? Thanks for helping me get everything sorted.
Anytime, Casey. It's what friends are for. Let's make sure everything is tied up so we can enjoy the celebration without any worries.